All right, back to Flagstaff, Arizona for round 4 of the 2023 PDGA Masters of the World Championship. Just off of Route 66 here on San Francisco peaks in the distance. Going to Little America for this final round, unless you make the cut. My name is Stephen Waits, and I'm joined by Steve Boylan.
Howdy, nice to be here again.
Seeing quite the shakeup on the leaderboard with Brian taking a lead through the front 9, and then Chris just having a solid back 9 performance at Thorpe Park to reclaim that lead that he's held on to now for the first 3 rounds. Hole 1 here at the Little America course, Little America long course, is a 653-foot par 4. A lot of trees to navigate off the tee. Good sized landing area if you do, but then you got this treacherous green full of rocks and guardian trees.
All right, the tee box is live. Welcome to the 320 tee time. This is your lead card. First on the tee from Wichita, Kansas, Chris Smith. Good luck, y'all.
Chris with that Raptorite trespass that we talked about round 3. He's saying that he's really enjoyed using tees up here in this elevation.
Yeah, nice little kick off the first tree, but it directed him right into another. So
Convers.
he didn't quite get down the hill. This is a downward elevation. You can get down over that crest of that hill. It'll flow right down to the open area. Ron goes way wide.
Next on the tee from Wilmington, Delaware, Mike Moser.
Mike checking the wind. Definitely probably the windiest round that these players have seen so far.
Unfortunately, he hits the first tree available, and he's a good solid player, so hopefully he can find another route. Webby looked really focused off the tee on that one. Gets it up a little high, but man, is it continuing to go all the way down in the opening. He is looking at a beautiful opportunity to get up and down for a 3. Mike's got work to do, but he's got this lane, and he lets go of it a little bit early. Puts himself in a really unusual situation behind that tree, so hopefully he can find a route through there. Ron didn't quite get out, but he pushes it out there, so he's got a pretty solid up and down opportunity. Chris is looking at this and saying, all right, maybe I can get my forehand all the way there. He throws pretty hard, but hits that first tree, wow.
Tough spot to try to get out of from down there.
Yeah.
Really taking away any chance of leaving yourself with a putt from that angle. As he just barely got over those trees, landed down by those rocks. So down about where Brian's drive landed is as far as Mike's made it so far.
Chris is, he threw a little bit low on this, and so he's got quite a bit of uphill putt on that nasty green that may be an issue. Schweberger with that patented bummer, and he puts it just a couple of feet away. That's going to be an incredible birdie look on this hole.
Mike ready to get through this hole now. He'll have that left for bogey. So this is to save the +1 on the hole. Tough putt, uphill.
Tough putt. Does give it a nice run, but unfortunately he's going to start off with a double on this. Chris is going for this is his par save right here, so maybe he can get this in. Good solid looking putt. Oh, just
the front of the gate.
Just a little bit short on that raised basket. Convers is he's now looking at the.
Yeah, Ron.
Good
He
putt.
nails his. He saves his par, and he's pretty happy about that, I'm sure. This first hole sets some tone. Schwebby with the beautiful birdie on it. With only 3 birdies all day on this hole. Pete Riem from Michigan, Scott Meyer from Nevada, and of course Brian Schweberger.
We're off on hole 2 here for Little American course with this lake shot that the players be facing. Basket is tucked away. It is a island hole. You do have to get across the water and past those rocks on the left. Brian looking with the long thumber. Stays inbounds. Yep.
Like Ron's going to go backhand. It's only using about half that tee is a run up. Flexes it out there. It's coming in. And he's within a couple of feet of Schwebby. So, yeah, he's safe as well. Chris going with the traditional, more straightforward Hyzer look at it. And he filters up there by the tree. Still got a nice look at it, so everybody so far had birdie opportunities.
Those shorter trees there by the basket are well within circle 1, so anything past it, you can't really bring it play. And that barely stays inbounds by Mike.
Mike's pretty happy that one didn't stick into the water and got a little skip off of it. Get up there, save his par, and move on. I'd be pretty excited about moving on that one too. Good solid run at it, just a bit low. You can see there's not that much wind. We were anticipating a little bit more wind out here. And it does swirl out here, but at the same time, usually things are moving. That flag's not moving too much. See as Schwebby misses left side. And then that leaves Chris go for the only birdie opportunity here, and he puts a little high, comes off the flag.
This hole playing a quarter stroke under par, and not a single one of the birdies coming off the lead card. Just tough positions to be in off the tee, and the wind picking up throughout the day, the heat getting stronger.
Yeah, this is I think it was about a 90-degree day. The humidity was pretty low. So when you're out there standing in the sun, you could really feel it. So it's nice to have some shaded areas on this course and the other courses as well. Hole number 3, 316 foot, slightly uphill, par 3, and Schwebby's lining up for his shot. He looked pretty focused. I'm telling you, he looked really focused.
Tee-pad here is setting up nice. But one thing I want to point out, just while we're on this hole, is just looking at the tees and how great the course was looking. You know, they didn't just slap tees down, because this is a new course in the area, but they really built it up with the rocks around it, used the terrain.
And those tees do have a little bit of sponginess to them.
I was saying, yeah.
They take a little bit of getting used to, because you don't anticipate that, so they grab, and you can really grip off of them. If you're not expecting that, then that could be a challenge on its own. But these guys don't look like they're having too much of an issue with this. Ron's up there putting first.
Yeah, All
off-
American course was built just for this tournament. There was already a course out here, had been for years, but did not follow this same layout. Thorpe Park being one of the oldest courses in Flagstaff, so two different.
Webby just nailed his putt. Moser's up next.
Two different styles, two different qualities are built in, but I mean the course is looking great. They played at A-Tier out here earlier in the year as a test run, and I was wondering though, because I noticed that sponginess that you speak of on those tees, and wondered how that would affect play. I hadn't gotten to throw it on them.
Well, you really just got to get used to it. When you first take, that's why practice rounds are so important. Because throwing off of them, you're going to get a little bit more grip than you normally would. I myself changed my shoes, so I went with something that's a little bit more of a tennis shoe. Something with I usually wear some, hiking boots to throw in, and in this case here, I just used some shoes that were, your Under Armours that you got from, some low tops, and that seemed to help give you some flexibility on those tees. Hole number 4, par 4, 643 feet. You're going uphill and then you're going downhill at 196 meters altogether for those people who love metrics. You want to push that as far as you can. You do want a hyzer, but distance is the key on this one more so than anything else. You can see Chris really laces one out there. Gets up on top of the hill. That's pretty. Schweberger's already up there a little bit. So all these guys can throw some distance shots, so you can anticipate really seeing them fire it out. If they can get it flat in this elevation, that's usually the key.
Hole 4 is the third hardest hole for this round of 18. The front 9 had five of the top 9 hardest holes playing, and this hole was only beat by hole 1 on the front 9. So the par 4s out here, most of these are over 600 feet, really giving a challenge to the players at that distance with the terrain and the trees. Though there might be a lot of the rocks on the ground, makes your run-ups for your approaches harder.
A lot of times you may be throwing standstills instead of doing run-ups, just because of safety for your ankles and that kind of a thing.
And of course, will eat your disc. Round 1, it was Ron taking a gash out of one of his go-to drivers early in the round that he lost with the rocks on this course.
Saw Mike's shot there. He was really trying to do a big Hyzer, and it kind of faded out on him a little bit. He's got a look, but it's good. Not the one he wanted. The forehand shot here, man, that seems to be the shot. He's just inside a circle there. He'll have a nice putt for opportunity for birdie.
Players throwing, once you get to about where Ron's at on these holes, you're throwing back downhill towards the basket, but you got a headwind coming off that pond that's over on hole 2.
And just past the basket, down to the right of this, where Mike is putt, there is another OB line. So you want to be careful. And this is one of those, we have a lot of rocks on this course, but it's so steep on the right side there that it could gain speed and actually roll out of bounds if you have a unfortunate hit against a rock or roll.
Or you can rock and roll.
Rock and roll, there you go.
Just over the top of the basket. Didn't hit the flag stick, and I'm sure he wished he would have, because that went about 20 feet past it with his head.
So, yeah, we talked about the wind a little while ago, and you can see it's picked up a little bit in just 2 holes. So Chris is dealing with that right now. Looking at this birdie putt, and man, does he sink it. That was a nice steady flow. Ron's got some work here. He just off a rare 3-putt from Ron, rare 3-putt from any of these league groups. You know, he just kind of floated by that wind, got him to commit, and he committed and just flew a little bit back beyond it. So
5% of the field birdied this hole. 3 birdies, including Chris, was Adam Harris and Ron Panesi.
Ron Panesi from Montana, yeah, and then Adam Harris, I believe, is from New Jersey. Played with Adam a few times. He and Mike Moser played quite a few tournaments together.
Tough hole there, open compared to this one. This one's a little bit more guarded. Uphill, 366-foot par 3, well, I should say, guarded from the wind. Fairly straightforward. Turnover forehand shot would be probably your best bet. You mentioned round 2 that there's that limb down the middle of the fairway you really got to contend with.
You gotta commit to going under it, over, or left or right of it. And I'm telling you, this hole is not an easy job. And I may be wrong on that. Look at Chris just parking it. That's amazing.
Well, like the gallery, or one of the players said there, Chris got a nice kind of reverse skip. He was gonna be flaring away from the basket and kicked him back towards it. So
yeah,
that was a good break to get close.
There's a lot of rocks right there where he hit, so he probably tagged one of them and got that reverse skip.
This looks really good for Mike.
That he threw that nearly perfect. Just wanted to get a little bit more juice on it. He's got an opportunity for a birdie too. These guys are playing this hole well.
Ron tried to take that same route, a little high, a little more of a steep angle, and yeah, definitely inside of that tree with that limb we mentioned.
When you go over that limb, you lose some of the speed off the disc because it's going to take some off of it. So if you want, your trade-off is, go high and lose speed, or you go low, gain speed, but may have to deal with the elevation coming up on you fast. So Schwebby puts a really nice run on this, and just comes up a bit short. Like Moser's got a pretty similar putt. He's got that floats just a little bit left. That stability of the elevation, altitude shows right there. Ron, you can see he's a little disappointed. He'll take that par, but he's still in a good position here, so I don't see too much of an issue. Ron's going to be a factor in this. We just know he will be. He's got the experience and the will to be able to get this done.
So if it means anything, heading into hole 6 here at par 4, 659, mentioned the difficulty of these holes. So hole 4 being the 3rd hardest, and hole 6 coming in at the 4th hardest. So in a 3-hole stretch. And even then, hole 5, as we've seen with just one birdie from Chris, that that's the hardest hole that is playing technically under par. So these 3 holes in the middle of the front 9, really a chance to make or break a round early.
Oh no! Chilled him out.
And Chris just leaving it short. Yep.
A lot of times you want to bite off. You want to bite off so much on this hole because you just want to go for it, and then it is uphill, so you do have to get that height to it, just like Schwebby does there, and he puts it right down the middle. You have to get out there about anywhere from 280 to 350 to have an opportunity to get that birdie.
Oh, back to Chris's drive. He's been leaving on. He's had a few low ones. He had it hole 1, and now again here on 6. And it was something that we talked about on round 3, where he's throwing them low off the tee, and when the hole's just slightly uphill, he's losing his distance.
That was a nice kick out and get open for that up and down wave there on the hole 6 for Ron. You gotta throw this about 400 feet slightly uphill. So it's going to be a challenge for him to get up there. He did hit a tree, but now he's in position to be able to get up and down. Mike throws that big flex. Comes out of it a little bit early, so he's going to be looking at probably an 80-footer, 90-footer, going directly uphill at it. Chris has got work to do after hitting the tree. Throws a nice controlled hyzer, and he hyzers out just a little bit early, a little bit faster than he anticipated. Now we get all the way up to Ron's shot.
Wide but high, and you got a good angle on it.
He throws a flat shot. Oh, great, good stick. Yeah, anything.
Brian
close
looking
to the
to
end of
find
that
the
log
same
there.
pass here into it. He's got a
Fantastic.
stick. Oh, did.
We definitely. Looks like he flashes by the chains. Gotta love that.
Right side, short and right of this basket, there is opportunity for ground play. This little road that goes just past it, kind of not as many rocks as other sides of the green, and you could slide something up there, skip something in there. Chris is about a tree's length away from the basket.
This is for Chris's part.
Oh,
Yeah. And he just barely misses it right off of another 2 inches, and he's got that one solid. Moser got a precarious position. Of course, he doesn't take any time. He's like, no big deal. Me, I'd still be out there.
rod it for birdie, yes.
Ron for the bird.
And oh wow, Brian's shot just parked it on his, so he'll have it just a drop in. That's a huge drop in 3.
Yeah,
Ron and Brian with birdies out of the 5 total for the day, and heading into hole 7 here, 364 par 3. And this hole's slightly downhill, but there's a lot protecting this basket, and from a straight approach, you really, I guess I'm saying, you really want to go left or right of it, right?
So this hole here is actually kind of interesting because you can actually throw straight at it, and because it's dropping, you know, a lot of people are throwing hyzers at this and trying to go navigate through the right side, and if you just throw straight at it and use something a little less stable, it'll float right down to it because of the elevation change. We see a lot of people when they try throwing a little harder, they're going way left or way right, and looks like mine might be lining up here for the big analyzer. Yeah. Now he got it a little bit high up in the air, so it's going to filter out on him. But we've seen quite a few people try that route. So this is the neat thing about this hole is you get a lot of people doing different routes on this, and so there's no one correct way to do it.
3 people.
It's a well-designed
all
hole.
the way out to the left over there. Brian's not much further, or not much closer than them. Just a big grouping of disc right here that just kind of hides it out early, like you're saying. Everybody throwing that backhand shot, coming in short and high and finishing way left.
That's like keep it somebody. I see it. Sally. Cheering back same face. Good.
Chris got a long putt here. Pretty focused. He's well outside circle 1.
There it is.
Puts it up. Yeah, that's got to give you a nice feeling after the last hole. Way to get it, Chris. Schwebe's got this Anheuser putt around this evergreen, and it looks like the wind just died down a little bit. Sometimes that can affect you in a negative way because you're expecting the win, you're expecting something to happen to the disc, and then the wind just dies and it's just nothing. I don't know if that happened there, but sometimes that's the way it
4% of the
works.
field took a bogey worse in this hole, but 80% went to par. So Chris's birdies definitely strokes a lot of folks, including the whole lead card here.
Through 7 holes, he's only got 1 par. So kind of playing a roller coaster game, but he's on the good side of it.
08, 640 is a par 4. And there's a grouping of new growth there in the middle of this hole that really obscure your view of the basket. You might be able to see the top of the flag, but it's a spot that really can catch a lot of discs. You trying to beat it either to the right or just past it here.
So a lot of players are talking about this hole and trying to go as far left as they
That road is on the
so
right,
they
yeah.
can have a Hyzer approach to it. But well, yeah, and to do that, you really need to get the height on it. And Schwebby just tries powering through it and flips that second tree there, second line of trees, and so he's going to have some work. But this hole here is more important on the second shot than it is the first. So Schwebby still has an opportunity to get up and down. Ron's in a nice position.
They found a clear spot.
Got good footing. He's not
sure.
any trees. That's for sure. Now Mike just puts one out there and says, I'm gonna throw as far as I can to see what happens. And so he's gonna be looking at an opportunity for getting up and down too. Schwebby still can't see the target. Sure, had to walk up there.
No, it hit the tree.
See, he had to throw it about
Just outside circuit 2, yeah. Now Ron,
he put that
down. So that needs to drop on him.
Floats. Yeah, it's a little high up on it, but he's looking at a very good position.
Chris being the furthest left,
Birdie
so they could throw that forehand for himself, getting.
Be as far left as possible. As we found, talk to the guys. That's a key element, and a lot of guys are liking that. Moser,
That's the second shot. That's a big shot.
Oh, it's a second.
Way out to the right. Huge run from that distance.
Big run at that. That
Ryan's second shot getting caught up on the trees
feet
here.
away for the.
He'll give it a bid.
Oh, yes, it was. Oh, he gives a nice. It's go. Oh, wow, just misses. These guys are getting hungry. We're sitting in round 4. Ron had a chain out left.
Yeah.
Chris is going for the birdie. And I mentioned he's on par. So he's got 2 bogeys and 4 birdies so far, and bangs another birdie.
So I'd say all around this course right now, maybe not on these first few cards, but a lot of players battling to make sure they can make that cut line before the semifinals. You guys will head back to Thorpe Park halfway through the 4th round here, and it's definitely, you get to the point where you're starting to run out of holes.
The cut line on this for the MP50 Vision is the top 27, and that's going to put you right around even par. It's going to be probably going to be your cut line, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see how everything shapes up.
Come on! Unbelievable. You missed that, you're going out of bounds easily.
He's going for the eagle in these conditions.
He parked that.
And there it is. Get that big beast.
All right, we're in the last hole of round 4. As we were saying before the commercial break there, this lead card, the leaders will start on hole 1 because it's a shotgun start Saturday morning. Chris looking to have a lead going into 9 holes left for a lot of players who might be facing that cut line. And the leader's just trying to stay on top. Chris with a great shot into the basket on this 261-foot par 3.
Although it's 261 feet, you have to throw it.
Yeah, it's perched right on the front side of
It's
that hill.
uphill, significantly uphill, and it is, yeah. And so Schwebby gets a nice little kick left. He's got a nice birdie opportunity. Ron has a nice high shot, comes in just before the trees and lands next to the target. Man, he's well, he's not gonna splash left on that one, that's for sure.
Mike with the wide approach needs something to move up there, and it's really hard to do on the front side of the hill with these big boulders and stones and rocks that are out there. And he's got the V-shaped tree to contend with. Well,
Yeah,
not much of a contention for him.
nice. He's a quick putter, quick decision maker, and he just puts it in there. He's been relatively quiet. He had that double bogey on the first hole, and then had a birdie on 3, and of course now 9. But he's struggled a little bit with some birdie opportunities that missed, like on hole 8.
Finish it by front 9. You know, going into the back, you got that birdie, so it's good for him.
Chris finishes up, and then of course Ron Convers just taps in his birdie. So we got 3 birdies and a par on this. Chris gave up 1 to the field, but
It's been a windy front 9 and continued to do so in the back 9. Looking at the card, everybody within 1 stroke of somebody else right near them, and not much change. Scott Merritt making a little bit of a charge, shooting 4 down, along with Sergio Solis and Brian. So 4 down is the hot round through 9.
So Sergio shot this course 8 down the first round, and played the other course, Thorpe, at even both rounds.
Well, thanks,
Well,
Steve.
American
We're
course, so that
halfway
could be
through
something there.
round 4, front 9, and hope to see everybody back on the back 9 as we watch these guys battle before the cut.